no say at all. It is because the propaganda, the media, the kind of money that is deployed both by TRS and BJP is unparalleled. Every TV channel you play today, it is the Prime Minister and only the Prime Minister. And if that wasn't enough, now they have a new TV channel based only on him with his name. Who no one knows who's funding it, no one knows who gave it permission. So systems are being destroyed. In Telangana, this is a state with much potential. It's a new state. It needs clean politics. It needs people like Mr. Reddy who have performed and worked as a professional, are looking to clean the system of our political electioneering. And I think the Congress party, after having carefully considered, has chosen him and many others like him to contest Lok Sabha seats. Therefore, I think the people of Telangana will vote for the Congress party because they know that the true preservers of the sentiments of the Telangana people who can actually justifiably give Telangana what it deserves. What has the central government given to Telangana since it was created? What has it given to any state? There is a disconnect between the southern states and the central leadership of today. And Congress party can provide that all-inclusive leadership. And I think despite all the money that is being spent and all the state machinery that is being misused, the Congress party will do very well in Telangana and other parts of the country. And 23rd of May, we will have a new government, we'll have a new Prime Minister, and we'll have a new beginning in our nation's history. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
What will you do to control the petroleum price?
Well, I think the global prices have been quite low. In fact, the BJP government got very lucky. Manmohan Singh ji's tenure, I was a minister, the price per barrel had reached $145 and it sank to almost $50 a barrel. But people are still paying, I don't know what in Hyderabad they're paying, but it's 75 rupees, 80 rupees a litre. There is no reason why, so who's getting all the money? The difference between the global price and the price at the petrol outlets is huge. I think including in the GST, first of all, we've said that GST will not be what it is today. We will have a single GST with one rate across the country to simplify the process. The small and medium-sized enterprises have suffered because of this hurried implementation of GST. So I think petroleum and diesel prices can be contained. States have to cooperate, but I think ultimately once we include that in the GST, people will not bear the burden of the whims and fancies of people sitting in Delhi.
We hear that sentiment is totally with BJP, or they are trying to make up those issues. Even in Rajasthan, where it was difficult 3 months ago.
You see, much has been talked about the military action post the Pulwama attack. I just want to reiterate that our men in uniform, our armed forces, our paramilitary forces, all those young men and women who guard the frontiers of our borders are the pride of this country. They don't belong to a region, a party, a government or individual. They really are the honor and the people of India feel a certain regard for our armed forces. That will not change. And I think no matter who's in power, who's the Prime Minister, whichever government is in power in Delhi, anybody who looks at India in a negative fashion, does anything against our national interest, any institution, any organization, any country, any nation state, will get the same befitting reply. But I don't think that you can cover up your incompetencies of the last 5 years behind the valor and the sacrifice of our armed forces. The army is an institution that all of us hold in high regard. There is absolutely no two ways to think about this. But to not perform for last 5 years and then take cover behind the valor and the bravery of our armed forces, I think people can see through that. So this sense of hyper-nationalism, the sense of taking credit for what others do, we must keep things aside. I think the Supreme Court had to ultimately intervene and tell political parties that don't use religion and the armed forces for political purposes. It should not have come to that. Why should the Supreme Court tell political parties? And I think when they say political parties, they only had one party in mind. So people can see through all of that. People today are looking at these elections as to how young people who are either unemployed or underemployed. We are suffering on two accounts. There is unemployment and there is very highly qualified young people who are underemployed. For a class 4 railways job, you see people applying in the lakhs, if not crores, who are double MA, doctorates, PhDs, applying for PN level jobs. So it's underemployment. This GDP growth number that we see, it doesn't do justice to what we see around us. In fact, some people have even questioned the numbers of what's coming out of the NSSO. So I'm afraid that jobs and agrarian crisis will remain the pivot for this election. No matter how much Mr. Modi tries to, accuse the Congress government, and I'm surprised that even after 5 years being in office, the Prime Minister does little else except blame the Congress party, its leaders and previous governments. And what have you done for the last 5 years? What has Mr. KCR done in Telangana for the last 5? That's more important, as opposed to abusing and accusing your opponents. That's not the positive narrative that we look for. You see, last time, of course, people were sold out on the idea of that Mr. Modi brought to the table, but we have defeated the BJP in the last Vidhan Sabha elections. Don't forget, they had 165 MLAs out of 200. Now they're down to 70. So we have gone from 20 to 100, which is 5 times. So we are well prepared. We have a new government. We waived off farmers' loans. We've increased allowances for unemployment. We've increased the pensions for people. Procurement prices have been revised. I think Rajasthan will do extremely well. We won the 2 by-elections just a year ago, Lok Sabha elections. So Congress party is going ahead with Mission 25 because we have 25 seats in Rajasthan, and our attempt is to get all 25. That's our preparations. But people tend to vote with the party they voted, at least in the northern states. So Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh will do extremely well. I think there is a wave of change all across our country. It may not be palpable because, the media, of course, is under certain pressures. And no offense to anyone here, but, we all know media owners and editors are compelled to kind of, display things as the people in Delhi wanted to. But the change is happening. There is no question about it. The fact that the BJP has forced to give 17 seats in Bihar to Mr. Nitish Kumar, who had 2 MPs, shows that they're desperate. The Shiv Sena, the amount of accusations the Shiv Sena has made towards the BJP in the last 5 years is at a record high. Despite that, they had to go for seat adjustment. That means they are not very confident of performing well themselves. I think if you add the number of states where the BJP seats will decline, will tell you that there is no way they will get majority. In fact, the Congress party and its allies, whether it's Maharashtra, Bihar, Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, I think will do really well, and including southern states like Telangana, Kerala and Karnataka. So I think we're poised to do extremely well. UPA 3 will take charge come 23rd of May. देखिए, चुनाव का समय है, सब नेता अपनी अपनी बात रखेंगे और सबको अधिकार भी है. गठबंधन हुआ है उत्तर प्रदेश में, जिसका हम सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन हम सबका जो एक अंतिम उद्देश्य यही है कि बीजेपी सत्ता में ना आए. और मुझे कहने में कोई संकोच नहीं है कि चुनाव मतदान के बाद समीकरण फिर बदलेंगे. जो लोग आज अलग अलग दलों से चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, हर रीजनल स्टेट पार्टी का एक उद्देश्य होता है अपनी सीट को बचा के रखना, और गिव एंड टेक होता है नेशनल पार्टी रीजनल पार्टी में. लेकिन हमें लगता है हमारा गठबंधन पहले से मजबूत है. यूपीए में जो घटक दल थे उनकी संख्या बढ़ गई है, और अंत में चुनाव होने के बाद चाहे वो कोई भी नेता हो, वो जानता है कि बीजेपी का जो तानाशाही रवैया है वो देश के लिए अनुकूल नहीं है. परिवर्तन होगा, गठबंधन में और समीकरण बदलेंगे. आप मतदान होने दीजिए, लेकिन आज हमारी पहली और आखिरी प्राथमिकता ये है कि एनडीए और बीजेपी ने जो कुशासन दिया है, किसी प्रकार उसको रोकना है. उसमें हम सब मिलकर काम कर रहे हैं. It's too early to say about any pacts. All I'm saying is that the collective objective of all political parties is to make sure that the way the BJP is functioning, that has to be curtailed. The way that they're using agencies to, quieten the voices of people who oppose the BJP is there for all to see. It's not a surprise. In fact, the Election Commission yesterday had to tell the income tax that you must be unbiased in your functioning because of what happened in Madhya Pradesh and other places. Therefore, I think all parties We have alliances, there are other alliances. It's too early to say what will happen. But the ultimate objective is to save our republic, to save the democratic institutions that we have really, all of us sacrificed to create. And that sadly is being distorted. So therefore, things may happen post-election, but as of now, it's too early to say. And don't ask me in Telugu, I've done Hindi and English now. I can't, don't ask me in Telugu. तेलंगाना के अवाम बहुत समझदार हैं, बहुत चेवाला में तो हम जीतेंगे ही, उसके अलावा आपको बहुत चौंकाने वाले परिणाम आएंगे, क्योंकि लोग समझदार हो गए हैं। वो समझ गए हैं कि टीआरएस को वोट देने का मतलब है कि अंत में बीजेपी को फायदा करना है, और ये कोई बहुत बड़ा रहस्य नहीं, सब जानते हैं। इसलिए विधानसभा की बात अलग है, लोकसभा चुनाव में सभी अगड़े पिछड़े बहुसंख्यक अल्पसंख्यक दलित आदिवासी सब लोग मिलकर उस पार्टी को वोट देंगे जो तेलंगाना के लोगों के हितों की रक्षा कर सके दिल्ली के अंदर। ये दिल्ली की सरकार का चुनाव है, भाजपा की यहाँ प्रेजेंस नहीं है, लेकिन वो बैक रूम से टीआरएस के माध्यम से कांग्रेस को रोकना चाहते हैं और जनता समझ चुकी है। इसलिए रेडगर तो जीतेंगे जीतेंगे। इसके अलावा भी हमारे यहाँ पर जो अब तक आपके सर्वे आए हैं उससे कहीं ज्यादा हमारी सीटें आएंगी, बहुमत की सीटें आएंगी, और जो यूपीए 3 का गठन होगा उसमें तेलंगाना की भारी मात्रा में भागीदारी होगी। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
హలో, నిన్న చేవెళ్ల బహిరంగ సభ 1,00,000 మంది కంటే ఎక్కువ ప్రజలు వచ్చినారు. మొట్టమొదలు కాంగ్రెస్ కార్యకర్తలకు, కాంగ్రెస్ నాయకులందరికీ ధన్యవాదాలు. అందరూ చేవెళ్ల ప్రాంతంలో అంటున్నారు ఇదొక వాటర్ షెడ్ మూమెంట్, ఇదొక టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పటి వరకు రేస్ టైట్ ఉండే, ఇప్పుడు క్లీన్ స్వీప్ చేవెళ్ల అయ్యేటట్టు అందరూ కూడా ప్రజలు అనుకుంటున్నారు. ముఖ్యంగా ఏంటంటే యాక్చువల్లీ ఇవాళ సోనియా గాంధీ తోటి మీటింగ్ ఉండే, అది ఎందువల్లనో అది టీఆర్ఎస్ పార్టీకి పర్మిషన్ ఇచ్చిండ్రు, మాది క్యాన్సిల్ చేసిండ్రు. అయితే నిన్న పెట్టవలసి వచ్చింది. అక్కడ గులాం నబీ ఆజాద్ గారు అండ్ సచిన్ పైలట్ గారు వచ్చేద్దుండే. లాస్ట్ మినిట్ చేంజెస్ వల్ల సోనియా గాంధీ రాకుండే. అయినా కూడా ప్రజలు 4 గంటల మీటింగ్ ఉంటే 9 గంటల వరకు అక్కడ ఉంటుంది. అన్ని పార్టీలు ఉండే, సిపిఐ, టీడీపీ, ఎన్నో పార్టీలు, మన టీజేఎస్, వీళ్ళందరూ అక్కడ ఉంటుంది. మీటింగ్ చాలా సక్సెస్ అయింది. దాన్ని చూసి ఈరోజు కేసీఆర్, కేటీఆర్ కలిసి మీటింగ్ పెడుతుంటే ఆ వెన్యూ చాలా చిన్న ఉందని మాటో పోటీ పెట్టుకుంటేందుకు ఆ వెన్యూ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. అట్లనే నిన్న కేటీఆర్ గారు ప్రత్యేకంగా అక్కడ పోయి అగైన్ నర్వస్నెస్ తోటి ఎన్నో క్యాన్సిలేషన్స్ చేసిండ్రు. మా కలెక్టర్ గారిని పెట్టి మా ఫ్లాగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా తీపిచ్చిండ్రు. అయినా కూడా ఇదైంది. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చేవెళ్ల నుంచి ప్రజలు రారని హుస్నాబాద్, మహబూబ్ నగర్ పక్క ప్రాంతాల నుంచి ప్రజలను తీసుకొస్తున్నారు బహిరంగ సభకు. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు ప్రజలందరికీ తెలిసిపోయింది ఇది టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్ అయిన చేవెళ్ల పార్లమెంట్ ఎలక్షన్స్, లోక్సభ ఎలక్షన్స్. అందరికీ మళ్ళోసారి ధన్యవాదాలు.
Thank you.